Hello, my name is John Holland, and today I'll be looking at my 3D level produced for Digital Media Studio 1. So to begin with, as before, I am going to start with a quick run through of my game. So there are a few broken things that I'll go through at the end of the or basically the playthrough. So you come through here, press E on the door, it opens, changes to light green, and then if you come back in here, it sets up the particle system to go out. You don't. So basically they disappear if you're outside that trigger box. Come over to here, you press E again, the lift goes up and the light changes green, and then you come over here, press E again, and these all print on the screen. And you are meant to teleport into there, but you don't. As you can see, post-processing is in effect. When you first come out of the level, it motion blurs you, then as you go in, you are no longer motion blurred. There are these destructible planes, so if you shoot them, it adds to your score, takes away from your ammo. If I shoot all 21 of these bullets now, out of ammo reload comes up, you have to press R, you can reload, and then 25 bullets are back in your clip. Now you may see that up there, it does start on that mountain there, but because of the level sequencer not being able to play in your viewport, or me not being able to find out how, it has just played without us seeing it. But if you press E here, that extends the bridge. This water system does hurt you, as I'll get into with the code, but you can come across here, and then when you get to the end of that, when you get into the corridor of that building, you exit the game. So that's just a trigger box, which I'll get into. So with that out of the way, I don't want to do the long run to the exit. I'll go through everything that's broken and not. So the lights were broken within the corridor. That's because of the importance volume being too far away, so it doesn't register the lights and it didn't bake down correctly. I don't know how to fix the cutscene personally, but I assume it would just be through further reading, trying to get into. So if we come to the content and then my project, we can look at the cutscene and what it was meant to look like. If we come into the layouts, set it to 2 planes, and then we change this perspective to the cinematic camera. It was meant to be this kind of like pan across. You see this spaceship. It does look more like a building because it's on the cliff and it's got those support kind of beam looking things, but it was meant to just take off, as you can see there. So it is in the engine, it's just finding a way to get it to play. So unfortunately I wasn't able to get that completely implemented, which is probably a problem on my half, but yeah. So that was broke. Another thing that was broke was the teleporter. You weren't meant to teleport in here. It's a strange bug, I'll get into it later, but basically the coordinates were a bit glitched for me for some reason. But yeah, as you can see here, I've got a landscape. I did use the foliage system, as you can see on the left, for my own trees, my own rocks and my own plains. I used the density, so it's sparse. Landscape was done the same way, and also if you look at the brush, I have you. Ooh, no, that's a bit weird. It's not meant to go into that menu. Oh no, this menu. Here we go. So you can see I've used non-weighted blends for like grass. That's meant to blend into one another, and then for the other stuff, it kind of just like blocked in. So if we actually look at the landscape, you can see the material for that. So they all go into this. Landscape coordinates go into here, so that's finding the coordinates on the landscape. That finds it as the texture, it goes into the layer blend, and it all goes into base color. Those constants just set the value for metalness and roughness across the entire material, so yeah. So we close out of here for real quick. I don't know why it just teleported me. But again, you've got water. Again, it has no collisions on it because it is water. You can go through it, and there is a post-processing volume in there as well. But yeah, that's how I set up the landscape. So going on to post-processing, actually, there are subtle colours, so green, blue, green. You've got your motion blur in there, and so that was basically what I did for post-processing, just minor edits to the lights. But the biggest one for this for that area was probably going into audio. So I set up sound cues. So most of these just change the modulator. So that's the same for basically the gunshot, the alarm, the birds. And then the water is a mixer of the birds and the water. The mixer, you can see output 0 is playing it a lot louder than output 1 now. So that's just a quick way to basically blend 2 audio files together, but then make them seem like they're in the same scene. So that's what I did for audio. Again, those audio files will be referenced. So with that out of the way, I think it's quick. We'll take a quick look at my particle system. I didn't manage to get it completely implemented with an image and everything, but I did understand the idea of the spawn rates, the lifetime, how long it lasts in the particle system before it despawns, the initial size of them, so obviously bigger at the bottom or bigger at the top, the velocity, how fast they are, and then obviously the colour could change over the lifespan. So I understood those concepts, but again I couldn't get them fully implemented. I wanted them to fade in, not pop in. But yeah, I can understand those concepts. So, with that out of the way, we are going to go into the level blueprint. We're going to start off with the biggest blueprint of the level. So, these ones are probably what control everything else, or have some influence over everything else. So this starts up the main menu, and these are the three that are broke. So this was meant to be a main menu. We'll get to the widget in a sec, but for some reason the main menu itself won't open the level, even though the level name is correct. This was meant to get the destructible mesh, because this little this object, if you actually collide with it as the character, it does explode over the level, which is quite nice. Which was the original plan, was to send it up and then make it explode over the level. It's meant to be really cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get that implemented. And then also the cutscene was meant to try and play within. Was meant to play when you entered an overlap, and then it was meant to play in viewport, but I couldn't get it to the viewport. That was just probably further reading. So that's the particle system hiding, and you know. But yeah, these are meant to just pop in and out. I wanted them to fade though. Now these are custom events to call matinees. Of course, you're not meant to, you can't call matinees easily in custom blueprints. So my way to get around it was to make custom events, play the matinees from the level editor, and then call the event through console commands in the blueprint. That was my way past it. That's the level exit at the end of the game. You can see that by the trigger box. That's the death box outside the level. It sets health to 0 and it'll kill you. And this damages the player if it detects them in the water. Again, the text will explain it a lot more than me. So it goes here. It would delay the damage that you take by 0.2, and it replays it again. Reduces it by that amount there. And then if you're not in that physics volume, it sets you to not be in the water and then not play that event. So that is the entire level blueprint. So if we quickly come over to the blueprints here, the bridge, the door and the elevator are the same in terms of code, because they are the ones that call through console commands an event. So it detects if you're in the actual overlap of a box. It tells you to press E, and then when you leave the box, it basically disables your input. So you press E, it changes the light color to green, and then it calls that command through console commands. So that's the bridge pop-up. If you go, and the same for the door and elevator, so we're going to skip them. If we go to target, on the component hit, it casts to the first person game mode, increases your score by 1, sets the new score, and then destroys the actor. That's how you get that score system up and running. And then the teleport is just a little bit different. When you press E, you click teleport, and the coordinates are meant to be the correct ones for that box, but when I put them in, you don't teleport. I have no understanding of why, but yeah, that doesn't work. So, if we come into the character, I have made a few edits here. So, the sound is the quickest one to go over. When you shoot the bullet, you do play a different sound. Which is yeah, you can see. You can play a different sound. And then this is the simple ammo system. So you've got a gun ammunition, which is an integer. It sets it 25. It's greater than 0. You can fire. It reminds it by 1 every time you do fire. You can't fire. It prints that string. That's a reload. I would like to have a pool for this setup, so you didn't just constantly being able to reload. But yeah, that was the reload and ammo system. Again, text will explain it a lot better. So this is the pause system. Press escape, it sets up the pause system widget, goes to input UI only, and then it pauses the game. This is the death system. If your health is at 0 or less than 0, you die, and then it will trigger that death screen event through elsewhere. If you press K, you can test the life by hurting yourself. Z will make you swim down, and X will make you swim up, and those values are in the input with the appropriate scales. So, if we actually look at the game mode now, event begin play, that starts the main HUD. If the player has died by getting to 0 health, it starts up the death menu widget, and then it pauses the game. So of course, if you're actually falling for the level, you don't want to be falling forever and just seeing that, so it does pause it, as to give you an indication to start again or quit. So if we look at the main menu, this is what it's meant to look like in a background image, and then it has settings in here. So if you quickly look at this, you open the level. the level name is correct, and then it moves from parent. The settings sets the visibility, and that's the same for return. It returns it back to the main menu. Exit exits the game, quite simply. And these set through console commands again, the resolutions. So that's the same for main menu and def menu. But the in-game menu, no, not the in-game menu. The main HUD is different. So this is similar to the last one. It just gets the information from the game mode or the player character, and it displays them appropriately. So again, anything that has been overlooked is within the blueprints in text, but I have used multiple variables and I have tried to get this working. The things that I have break on me, they are probably simple fixes that I just require more time. But apart from that, that has been my game level. I'm Jordan Holland, and thank you for watching.